Recording in Audacity. So, who wants to take the anal fixation? When are we getting into that?
Oh, Jesus.
I think that's yeah. Look.
Welcome to Roughcuts. Are you glad that you're a special guesting, Kubo? Hey,
I was brought on as an expert in this subject, and let me tell you, this movie just has some fetishes, and yeah.
It's true. It's true.
Welcome to Roughcuts.
Dogs, they're coming. They're coming your way. They'll be here soon.
Tell you what, sweetheart, this one's gonna make you proud.
What is it?
It's a robotic dog. Check this out.
Nice invention, Dad.
Well, I'm still having some power source issues.
What is it you're working on?
It's a recharging super battery. Whoa, Tom, you're a genius. Did you see that? Family, may I introduce to you Robodog.
Robodog?
I am Robodog.
I'm Illian.
I am Robodog.
Of course, we've always got my co-host, Boix.
Hello.
And today we have special guest, Kubo.
Hello. I am here for this.
You picked this. You
did pick this.
Yeah.
Honestly, when I picked this one,
your destroyer.
You asked me to think of a movie for this, and I was like, oh, I remember there was a guy who made his dog into a robot. But I can kind of mix this with like two other really shitty dog movies I also had. Because I thought the dog got hit by a car in this one, and that's not how the dog dies. The dog dies in a way worse way.
Oh yeah, it's so
it's
much
way
worse than that. Oh my god. I can see why you'd think that it died in a car accident, though, because I want to say, like, right away, this was wild to go to, because for some reason, Boix and I, for a long time, have been finding different movies, but this is, once again, like, the prototypical dog family film where it's like, oh, science dad? Yes. Dog dies? Yup. Like, it's just like this checklist
It hits the check
all
boxes.
the exact tropes of every fucking bad dog family film that we've watched.
Like, if we made a dog movie bingo, we would have hit bingo within about 5 minutes.
Oh yeah,
this
oh
would have
yeah.
been easily.
Kid's upset that his dog is dead. Mother's trying to be understanding. Kid love interest.
Yeah. The only thing it's missing is a single parent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually one of the parents is dead too.
I mean, the mother looked dead inside. Does that count?
The mother looked like she was high most of the time. Like she was, she was super understanding and just chill about everything.
Maybe she was just
Didn't
on
give a
edibles
shit
the
about
whole
anything.
time. Like she's a wine mom without the wine.
Yeah, I was like, I think I even
Yeah.
made a joke when we were watching it. Like she would just open up a bottle of rosé like midway through the day.
Yeah.
I honestly kept on thinking that her internal monologue this whole time, like as the movie was going, like every time that he's like, well, I took apart the car to make my super battery, that she was just sitting there like, oh, that's fine, honey. And in the back of her mind, like, I'll just have that divorce in about like a month. Like, it's just like, it's okay, I've already solved all of this.
She should definitely have a glass of wine in every scene, and every time he says something, she's like, uh-huh, and then just takes a sip, right?
She's unbelievably checked out. She's just done.
Can we go back to the anal thing? I got it mid-drink.
Back to the anal thing. Thank
Everything
you.
goes back to it.
Yeah.
There's like 5 scenes of that.
Sniffing your butt.
Why?
Yeah, like
Yeah,
there's a
that's
weird.
the fetish thing. Sorry, that's also a checklist for the bad family dog movie. How many pictures of this woman's feet have we had? Weird.
Well, if we're going to go into the anal thing, I think we need to give some context here. The dog has a feature list, and of the features that the dog has is the ability to like run really fast and like a giant, I don't know, Inspector Gadget arm that comes out of the side of its body. And it also has GPS and flashlight eyes, and also a vacuum cleaner that sucks through its ass.
Through its asshole.
Yeah. And this is used several times in the film to comic effect, and I put that in heavy air quotes.
Tyler?
Is this implying that the dog can suck through its ass?
Yes!
Yes.
Yes!
Yes.
I asked you to clean your room, not Robodog.
What's the difference?
Well, the difference is that your dad made you a dog, not a maid that you could use to clean your room.
Then why did he install a vacuum in his butt?
I have no
Yes!
That's an incredibly good question. I think we should dive into that later.
Let's see.
Why did he? goddamn good question.
Because what I need you to do right now is take Robodog outside.
And it's a major plot point
Yeah.
that it has a vacuum ass.
And then the robot dog is trying to learn how to become a dog. So obviously it watches other dogs do dog things, which includes sniffing butts, because that's what dogs do. And the dog thinks that, of course, this is normal bonding behavior, so he tells the kid it should sniff its friend's ass.
Yeah.
Chloe. Who is Chloe?
She's a girl I like.
Have you sniffed her butt yet? Do you want to sniff her butt?
That's out of the second date.
Just please be quiet.
The dad seemed to like it when Robodog sniffed his ass. What do you think?
Yeah, the
about
dad
it?
was into it. Like he
Yeah.
didn't. He seemed shocked, but it was a pleasant shock.
Robodog, show Dad that you like him.
Sniff his ass.
Jiminy
Got him.
Tyler, you tell me
Oh,
about that right
God.
Robodog, cut it out.
Did I?
Dad discovers he likes something new.
now. How you show affection to humans.
How do they?
Robodog's getting new uses that I do not like. I love that all of you are going on about, like, the dog sniffing ass stuff, but nobody, absolutely nobody wants to handle the fact that there is, in fact, a joke, and I use that really heavy, of a bumbling sidekick just giving this dog a rim job in the middle of the street because of the vacuum
in front of a child and her mother, who called the police.
You call the police and bring them over to get the pervert. Yeah.
There's an extended shot of this man shoving his face in this dog's butt.
Oh no! It's a thing! Oh god! Why? What?
Eating out a dog's ass, huh?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Is that actually a crime in Florida? I'm wondering this now. Like,
It might be
is that on the
legal.
books?
No, that might be legal.
Yeah, I would think it is.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Florida, who knows?
It should be a crime pretty much everywhere, I would think.
I don't know. Florida's kind of the Wild West about that sort of thing.
Like, okay, so you have a robot dog. What features does your dog even need, right? Like, the features of this robo dog are way expanded what is required. For
Yeah,
a
this is a
robot
feature
dog.
creep thing, but I would assume that,
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going for wish list ideas here, number one should be, I don't know, human empathy, maybe? The dog doesn't seem to have any of that.
You can't give the robot empathy, then it won't murder.
That's true. How you get sell the Boston Dynamics.
Yeah.
They are trying to sell this to Raytheon, as we talked about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like at the end of this thing is very much going to riot control immediately. They gave it a fucking sonar weapon.
They give it a sonar weapon. It has mag clamps. It can
It's
like
GPS capable, and I'm assuming it can laser target sight for laser guided bombs. You know, that's how
Oh
the check
god.
night vision, heat vision. I don't know why it needs thermal. Fucking.
It's funny that like both the dad inventor and Wallace Shaw's character don't understand like the actual implications of what they have brought into this world.
No, nobody understands the implications of this. I mean, the bigger thing is that...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So the dad wants like a family-friendly dog, and Wallace Shaw wants to power the city, I guess, through his battery. But like, no one realizes that this is just going to be sold to the highest military contractor, and straight up just destroy some third world country someplace.
I mean, maybe that's what the sequel's about, right?
Or the other thing is,
Airport.
'cause the plot idea here is that he makes a perpetual motion super battery, so infinite energy to power his robo dog, which it's like, oh yeah, I've made infinite energy. What are you gonna do with it? Slap it in a fucking dog, I guess.
I mean, he basically made the Tony Stark like battery.
Yeah.
For his heart.
Yes.
But at
That's
least Tony
basically
Stark,
what he made.
Yeah, but Tony Stark is a military contractor, so like that makes sense why Tony Stark would have it. This guy eventually, like, basically solved the world's entire energy crisis, like everything, global warming and everything, and yet he throws it in a dog and just doesn't think about it.
He throws it in a dog.
with like
Wallace
hot glue
Shawn
and
realizes
tape.
there are some implications to this and tries to power the town. And you're saying like, oh, it'll like end up in military hands. I'm like, or the other thing is, like I said before, is that you just sell it to ExxonMobil and they fucking put it under a parking lot and bury it.
I mean,
they just cement it. Like, it's like Jimmy
He forgot to
Hoffa,
put
never
like an
seen again.
antivirus on his robo dog or any sort of anti-malware. Like, within about 10 minutes of being connected to the internet, that dog's gonna be, like, taken hostage by some fucking...
That's a good point. Does the dog have Wi-Fi capabilities? Is that on our feature list? Because I don't think it showed any Wi-Fi capable service. Well, it did cellular service to the mother because
it did. It did. So it has to be connected somehow, right?
Good point. Yeah, I wonder if like you could download dog software updates because like they had problems with the dog's audio drivers earlier in the movie. It wasn't able to bark at full volume or something.
Yeah, they had to update the drivers.
You wouldn't download a dog.
I absolutely would right-click.
No, I would download a dog. Yeah.
Honestly, the thing is, what the problem they had was that the dog, he would tell the dog to mute, and then they wouldn't use the specific phrase to get the dog to unmute. So it was just doing like barking, but no one could hear it. Which
really early.
I thought was really funny because it's like, the dad's this super genius, but he certainly doesn't know how to make user design.
That's a super genius that thought that solar panels act as heat sinks. So
that's true.
It's true.
They technobabble away a lot of this dog, and honestly, it doesn't really matter all that much in the context of the plot, but it is funny.
No, but in order to be a scientist, you know how to solder. And our super genius definitely knows how to solder. They show you
solder by holding it like a pencil, right? Like right by the tip where the hot
you just hold the tip. Yeah.
This happens 2 or 3 times in this movie.
To be fair, one time when he's doing that, he goes, and has his hand burn. You know, the other hand. the one that wasn't holding it.
As he's holding the soldering iron by the tip. Yeah.
As he's holding the soldering iron by the tip, he burns his other hand.
Why was he soldering anything? He just held everything together with, like, clamps.
The battery was held in with alligator clips.
Yeah, what's
straight up. Yeah, I don't know what he was soldering in there. Well, this dog is held together by wishes and dreams and duct tape, really. So
yeah,
we can get into that at the end because boy, that final super battery prop when he's doing his work on it is something.
Yeah.
I guess that we have. Do we have to talk about the plot of this film? I guess we have to talk about the plot of this film.
Well, first of all, we should mention that Wallace Shawn is in this movie, right?
He was the best pull they got, and he does fine. He's a good actor, but he was too much for this movie.
What are you yapping about?
It's inconceivable why he signed on, but he's here.
Of course. We all get one. That was yours.
Yeah, we all get one.
That's one.
There's Patrick Muldoon from The Dog Who Saved Christmas, The Dog Who Saved Christmas 2, The Dog Who Saved Christmas Vacation, The Dog Who Saved Easter, The Dog Who Saved Summer, The Dog Who Saved Halloween,
The Dog Who Saved Summer Vacation,
Little Dead Rotting Hood.
The Kevin James Brother Dog Cinematic Universe.
Yeah. There's all these crappy movies we've already seen.
The thing is, you might think that we're making a joke about all of the Dog Who Saved things, but those are all actually dog movie titles. Every single one of those.
Yeah, that was episode 50 if you want to listen back.
I'll give it credit to the child actor in this movie. Like, he was fine, child actor-wise. Like,
we did fine.
A lot of these dog movies, when they get child actors out, they're awful. Like, the kids are straight looking at the camera. They have, like, no fucking clue what's going on. This kid was actually decent, but it's not saving the plot of this movie. He wasn't the issue.
Often the kid is the only character asking why the fuck any of this is happening.
I will give the credit to the writers of this movie. When the dog starts talking and the wife sees it for the first time, she looks like she's about to shit herself.
Yeah.
So, at least they addressed that problem of the dog talking.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess we could get into it.
Okay, quick content warning. Dog death. We're going to talk about dog death.
The dog dies horribly too. Like that's the thing I was saying earlier. Like I thought the dog got hit by a car because in 9 out of 10 of these dog movies, the dog gets hit by a car as the dog death. This was kind of brutal.
It's brutal and
not
it's like,
kind of.
It's like 15 minutes of death flagging this dog.
This dog is 2 weeks away from retirement.
Straight, yeah. Like what the hell?
Like, isn't the opening scene is the child making a PowerPoint presentation of how much he loves his dog for its birthday.
His dog that he couldn't think of a name, so he just called Dog.
Yes, the dog is named Dog. And see, this works as a character trait for, say, Lieutenant Columbo because he's an airhead. But this this kid is clearly shown to love this dog in the movie anyway, yet he doesn't even bother giving it a name.
Yeah. Also, the dog that they got for the acting, like, it does good tricks and things, but also it really doesn't want to be near this kid.
It's
Like,
disinterested, yeah.
But like,
there's a couple
the
of
video's
times when
funny.
he's sitting there like petting the dog, and the dog is very obviously like looking off camera, like, okay, the trainer's telling me to sit. I have to sit next to this kid, I guess. And it's just like getting petted, and it's like, oh, this dog doesn't give a shit about this kid.
Are you saying that dog is a diva? That dog actor is a diva and wanted treats at every opportunity? Wow.
Dog's agent set him up for this movie. He's like, I guess I need another pool.
I guess. Yeah. I was really looking forward to Air Bud 19, but here we are.
He didn't get the callback he wanted.
God.
But like the video that the kid makes is really funny because it's like, this is my dog named Dog. I love him. He's my favorite dog, and he'll never die.
Yeah, he's very adamant about how Dog will always be there for him.
Mm-hmm.
Never ever die. Wink.
But
it's great too because he's using like Premiere or something to make this dog movie thing, and it's just like
how much is his dad paying for the subscription on that? Like, come on, use some free software. What are you doing?
Yeah. So the movie opens with him loving his dog so much, and then the dog is just also kind of annoying to the rest of the family. It jumps on the bed and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then we're introduced to Science Dad, who does science. You could tell because he's doing science
at the kitchen table.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
By science, he's pulling a weed whacker apart. I don't even know what the fuck. Like the prop department just kind of raided someone's shed in the backyard and just threw whatever they had on the table.
Anything that looks slightly electronic, they just put in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that has a dial, later on they use a safe, like the safe combination as the dial for like their science machine to turn up.
They put like a cardboard frame in front of it, but you could very clearly see it's a safe behind it, just because they wanted a dial.
Yes.
It's so good.
Well, they zoom in on the dial, and it's like that's just a safe dial. Like you can just tell immediately, like, oh yeah, that's a combination safe. Like it's.
But so the kid goes up into the attic to get some stuff. The dog follows and drops his ball in the attic, and then they leave. Foreshadowing.
With the dog trapped, or no?
Something. Was the dog trapped? He's not trapped yet. Because the kid just leaves it up there, right? Because then we need to go. We need to go to the science building at Science Institute of Epic Industries.
Yeah, as Kubo was saying. So
that's what it was. He left the ball up in the attic and closed it. He did leave
the ball
later on. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, the ladder. He closes the ladder. His dad says, "Make sure the ladder's up, kid." And they close the ladder, but then it like bounces open a little bit, and then they show it slowly.
Yeah, they foreshadow that it's not fully closed.
Yes.
So that you have a feeling of dread for the next 5 minutes.
God. Yeah.
Because you know where this is going.
Like you want in your dog film for families.
Yeah, great. But then we go to Epic Industries where they're determining new technology for Fortnite.
How many like Cave Johnson like level science going on here? Like his dad is at a stand-up table with a bunch of electronic junk on it, and behind there's just a person with a bunch of like colored beakers, and there's a printer and shit.
Yeah, he's like typing on a printer
projector,
and there's an overhead projector with a laptop on it to make it look science-y behind him. Yeah, what? It's just whatever they found in the school.
Again, the prop department raiding someone's shed.
I do like that at the end of it, there was special thanks to Full Sail University, and we're like, this might just be...
That's obviously where it was shot. Like I've seen this kind of like buildings like that, like made in like late 2000s, early 2010s style architecture. It looks like it.
Also, they're all at standing desks, so they've got good ergonomics, I guess.
It's an open office. They're just desks in the middle.
It's an
of
open
this
office,
floor.
But it's like in a foyer. Like there's this is like where people would walk to get coffee. It makes no sense.
It's real good. It's real good. But so Patrick Muldoon is working on a super battery that defies the laws of thermodynamics.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they just don't explain it. It doesn't matter really.
It doesn't matter. It's just infinite energy. They found it.
Yeah, but we're also introduced to Barry Belch, who is a very good boy.
Barry Melch.
Belch. I think.
Belch sounds like he's from Duluth and has not left the city limits since he was born.
Yeah.
It's Melch. The boss calls him Belch because he's Barry Melch, and
he's
the
Belch in my heart. You
Yeah,
don't
he's
understand.
a very Belch. You can tell when this guy rushed for his fraternity, he was the Belch.
It's like nobody in Revenge of the Nerds calls Booger his real name.
Yeah.
Come on.
Fair. But you were saying Barry, so I wanted to make sure that this was known.
Right. But
Barry
yeah,
he's done dirty is what I'm saying.
He's extremely Midwestern. in this Florida Epic Institute.
It's not Midwestern. He sounds like an extra from Fargo.
He does, yeah.
Yeah, like I could see like Buscemi shoving this guy in a wood chipper or something.
Oh yeah, don't you know? So what you making over there? You got a battery? It looks like.
Oh yeah, what you doing? Oh, I brought a casserole for you.
Yeah.
I watched the Vikings game later. Yeah.
oh, you were working on that. Well, I made this solar powered,
scissors.
You mean solar powered scissors? And like the prop for this, it looks like one of those like thermal temperature gauges, like one of those things you just kind of like shoot the laser at. But it has like these little, I don't know, razor blades just glued to the front of it.
They just glued razor blades to the front of it. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's really bad.
It's supposed to be like a weird. I'm wondering if it was actually a thing that was just like a wire cutter with like a finger, like a trigger on it, so you could put more pressure on it. Like it looked like it might be something like that, like a weird, like late night infomercial. Like, are you having trouble cutting your wires? Like it looks like a piece of shit like that.
Well, they make that joke later. They call like it's the Epic Institute, not the Scene on TV Institute, which lazy joke.
Yes. I mean, it kind of looks like a UPC scanner that they just glued some razor blades to.
They glue they've definitely glued a solar panel to the top of it. So.
Yeah.
Or what they call a solar panel.
That is an important plot point, that he has this awful scissor.
With the solar panel.
Yeah, and then we're also introduced to Wallace Shawn, who runs the Epic Institute of Epic Industry Science thing, who is also bringing in a contractor from Japan.
I think it's an investor.
Or an investor?
Yeah, an investor.
An investor from Japan who he wants to impress with their inventions.
Yeah, he wants to get funding.
So they tell him, I believe Belch tells him, about the battery. And then he says, okay, cool. Get that battery working by this weekend so I can show it to him on Monday. See ya.
Oh, you're breaking the third law of thermodynamics over here, huh? All right, get that done by Monday. See you then. Like, wait, what? No, sir.
Sir. Does his contract stipulate that he has to work on weekends when allowed to? Because, like, most people...
I don't know,
yeah.
I mean, if he's salaried, generally, no. But there's a whole bunch of contract-related issues that I'm sure a lawyer could probably go deep into on this movie.
I mean, the characters in this movie forgot about the contract stuff until halfway through anyway, so it's fine. I'm sure none of them know how a job works. It's okay. But okay, so after that, we go back to the house where a demon has unlocked the stairs up to the attic.
Yeah, I'm watching this, like, I got the movie up right here. The dog stares at the ceiling. The ceiling, like, the attic staircase just falls open. Like, he has, like, superpowers, or there's a devil or something.
It's like a ghost or a demon wanted to murder this dog. Something. Right? Like, the house is haunted.
It's called The Filmmaker.
Right,
the attic...
Oh, man. Go on.
I was going to say, the dog goes up into the attic because apparently it wants the ball it left in there.
Yeah.
So it's rooting around these boxes, and it knocks one over, and it blocks the exit for the attic. So the dog's stuck up there, and then there's a shot of a thermostat or a thermometer that says that it's like 110 degrees in the attic, but the attic has like no insulation in it.
Yeah.
So like I'm wondering how it got that hot.
Because it's an unfinished attic. You know what happened? The demon brought a heater up there.
Oh yeah, the demon's presence is just hot. Heater.
Yeah.
This is starting to feel a lot like House on Haunted Hill. Spoilers, by the way, for House on Haunted Hill.
Yeah,
like where it's just like, oh, the house is hungry, it feeds. Don't go in the attic.
The attic that kills people. This attic. Go. Yeah.
The thermos is only 95 degrees, which is hot. Don't get me wrong, but like I feel that like a dog could probably survive in that for a bit. It doesn't matter.
Bit.
The house roasts this dog alive in the attic.
They literally cook the dog. That's the film. I don't even.
The top dog is about a ghost dog.
The insulation.
Oh my god.
No!
Yeah. How's that attic 100 degrees on an overcast day with no insulation?
What? Are they... Is this how they're killing this dog? What? Oh my god.
Hey guys.
This is so much worse than I imagined.
How you doing?
And then we cut to a scene of the family getting home, right? And the neighbor's like, oh yeah, your dog was barking for a really long time and then just went quiet all of a sudden. Weird.
Yeah, they really get into the weeds of this thing. Like, they show the dog, like, trying to escape the attic and whimpering. The neighbors, like, harp on about how the dog was whining before it died. And you're like, Jesus Christ, movie. Like, this is supposed to be for children. This is some traumatic
The kid goes up and finds the body and is hugging it.
He snuggles the dead body.
In the 110-degree heat of the attic that's still cooking.
Yeah, so the kid goes up there and finds it, and the mom waits downstairs for the husband to come home.
Yeah.
And because she just doesn't want to deal with the roasted dog situation.
And she has a bottle of wine
literally
in her
is like,
hand again.
I can't
Off
go
camera,
up there.
Yeah.
I can't go up there. It's too hot. Our son is snuggling the still cooling. Well, actually, I guess it wouldn't be cooling.
It's still hot.
God. Like,
oh, yeah, that's
like,
a well-cooked dog.
I can't believe that they show this, like, kid cuddling this dead dog as part of the movie.
Air fry this dog.
It's really horrific the way that they do this.
Yeah.
Like, it's just awful.
Not only that, but they lay it on thick afterwards, because they do, like, a sad montage of the kid, like, watching the video he made, and just really laying it on thick that dog is super dead.
Yeah, the father goes up in the attic to console the son, and, like, he sounds like Batman for some reason, but, like, afterwards, it's just the kid watching dead dog footage on his laptop. That's how I get over my grief, I guess.
On his MacBook One.
But that's okay, because the dad has a solution. He loses his job and immediately says, I know what, because of course he can't make this super battery in a weekend. Yeah. And he goes, you know what? I've got a better thing to do with my life. I can traumatize my son. And he goes out and makes a robo-dog, makes it look exactly like the dog that they lost, and doesn't tell anyone until it can do a very cool spookum to the kid.
Because when he's up in the attic, the kid's like, he's asking him, like, hey, what can I do to make this better, son? Do you want another dog? I don't want another dog. Bring my dog back. Well, I can't just reanimate the dead kid. Come on.
I only make batteries that break the third law of thermodynamics. I can't bring people back from the dead. You know, it's a different.
I can only violate one of the laws of nature at a time, please.
Oh, but I know what I can do. And then he goes on the tirade of making.
Well, he goes like the weekend's over and he's late to work and he has to show the battery to the investor, and that's when he gets fired.
Right.
Not ready.
Because it's not ready, and it like explodes and electrocutes them.
Yeah, there's a really bad like Looney Tunes shot of them getting zapped.
Chain of dipshits.
Oh, that looks safe.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
But yeah, he gets fired. Oh, he also makes a really good dinner for the family.
Immediately after getting fired, he goes home, and then, like, I guess he's trying to do, like, the stay-at-home dad situation thing.
Yeah.
But, like, it's him in, like, not a maid costume, like an apron or something, like, dancing and singing with his vacuum cleaner, and he gets walked in on by his wife and kid. And it's extremely awkward, and this sort of, I think, maybe starts going into the fetish angle that maybe the director had.
Yeah. This is one of two scenes where characters are mentioned wearing someone else's clothes.
Oh, you all thought that he was cleaning the house? I thought that he was doing his like homemade video homage to I Want to Break Free.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Yeah.
This is also where he makes dinner for them, and like we spent time trying to identify what was on these plates. We could not come up with it. I think the best we came up with mashed potatoes with guacamole on top.
It looked like a Mexican dish, but it clearly wasn't. It's definitely mashed potatoes with like.
I gotta pause right
something.
here. I'm looking at this. I just don't know what it is.
I still don't know what the fuck he made.
It's impossible to tell. It is.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things they made a very good disgusting prop. They did a good job. It's supposed to be gross, and hey, it looks fucking gross. It looks like somebody snotted all over the plate. Perfect. Well done.
But then he decides to build a robot dog for his kid out of car parts, a toaster, and a bicycle.
Yeah. He tore apart his Hyundai in order to get at something in the engine bay to put in this dog.
Yeah. What?
I mean, that's not everything. He also apologizes to Grandma for destroying her mink. Because
he was gonna put fur on it from the mink.
So this is one of the greatest questions I got about this movie. It shows a shot of him with the partially completed robot dog skeleton, which looks super fantastical, but whatever. But then, he says, "Sorry, Grandma, I'm gonna have to use your mink coat," and he has a fur thing in his hands, which presumably he uses to wrap this robot skeleton for the dog. But the dog looks exactly like his old dog, so I'm just thinking that maybe he got his old dog taxidermied or something.
Yeah, I think he did. Well, maybe his original idea.
Upset they didn't do that. I had been saying, I'm like, oh, are we gonna get some dark art shit where it's digging up the dog from the backyard?
I mean, his original idea might have been, I'm gonna taxidermy the dog and put it in your room so it watches you while you sleep. But then he decided instead to reanimate it in robot form and make it way worse, right?
I'm just laughing at this robot dog prop. I just sent you the picture of it. I don't even know what the prop department was doing this, because the shot where they show the robot dog, it looks like a bad composite, but they obviously had to make this prop.
I don't think that it could stand, to be honest, because they showed it in a still shot, but then they animated it in Adobe Flash.
Yeah, it looks like it's Mystery Science Theater 3000 levels of robot.
It does. Yeah,
I was gonna say it looks like Crow T Robot. Honestly, the
it
top
does.
of it does. It's got the weird netting on it that I was just like, oh my god, it looks a little bit like Crow. Why did they? I'm wondering if they almost did that as an homage, but
that would be too clever.
Yeah. So he's trying to figure out how to get the dog to move and not tween animation to death. And then Belt shows up with all this stuff from the office, including the battery that he made, which then is exactly what he needs to power the robot dog, but he just needs some way to, counteract the explosion part of it. And, of course, a solar panel will work.
Yeah, he said it kept overheating, and solar panels are what you use to prevent things from overheating, of course, so...
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Stop.
I mean, I know this is a show made for kids, but still, even the briefest of thought about this.
I would just like to point out that the thing in solar panels is solar, not heat. just as an aside.
Sun's hot, though.
Might be wondering. Yeah, sun's hot. True.
Oh man! So after building the dog, he just releases it into his son's room while his son is watching the video of his dog he made again.
I gotta say, when this kid, this kid's gonna need some therapy. I just want to know, how big that bill's gonna be, because this is
Huge.
what him seeing his dead dog talk to him is maybe one of the lesser traumatizing things in this film.
As he's watching the video, he reaches down unconsciously and pets the dog. But he's like, "Wait, oh god."
Yeah, at first he's like, "Oh, the dog's here. How is that a thing?" And then the dog starts talking, and he flips out because his dog is talking.
Like you would do. Yeah.
This is the worst prank from the dad. The dad just jumps in the room and is like, "Punked!"
The dad
your dog was alive.
Yeah, you remember your dog? I skinned it. What the fuck?
And the mom is freaking out about it too.
Yeah, it's so. She's horrified for a second.
Thing to do to your kid.
I think she realizes that if she continues to be freaked out, this is going to cause more trauma towards her child. So she oh yeah, it's cool dog. Honey, I gotta speak to you.
Cool dog. Hey, remember that divorce we talked about? I think we're gonna have to move that one up a notch.
I need to go get some more edibles for this.
She is the chillest wife of all time, because he comes home and he's like, "Oh, I lost my job." And she's like, "I'm doing pretty good at the office." He's like, takes the car
for
apart.
you.
Like, she drives in and the one car is like disassembled.
Yeah.
And she's like, what are you doing to the car? And he's like, well, I need to take it apart to do science. She goes, all right. Like, walks inside and you're like, she's just like this, huh? And then later on, he's like, oh, my wife's gonna be so mad at me. I'm like, there's nothing in this film, dude, that's backing that up.
Right, yeah.
It's funny rewatching this. Like, I watch it as we're talking about it. Like, she's, like, happy with her husband. And then, like, right as the scene ends, she kind of looks disappointed. Like, there's an undercurrent of her just being traumatized and wanting out of the relationship throughout the entire thing.
I'm sure she's gone through just as much trauma as the kid at this point, but it's, like, a different kind. It's weird. But, like, at this point, the kid is talking to the dog and be like, why are you a robot dog? I don't know, because I'm a robot dog. Why do you look like my dog? I don't know. Isn't that kind of fucked up? That you look like my dog?
Yeah, the dog is doing the whole AI, like, I don't know that I'm a dog. What does a dog mean? What is love, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And the kid's trying to be like, you gotta bark, you gotta act like a dog, you gotta blink and everything, and the dog's just not getting it.
Yeah, the dog goes like, what do you mean by dog? Please select all images, all parts of this image that contain dog. It's just training the AI.
Yeah, please sign your name with your finger here if you want to give me access to the internet. Oh no.
It's like, oh god, stop helping Boston Dynamics train this thing up, please. Like, you realize that the facial recognition software you're putting in this thing is
like,
not for good use.
If that dog went on the internet for 2 minutes, Age of Ultron would have happened. Right? Like, the city would be destroyed and in shambles. Like,
this kid talks about how much he hates this dog for a while and that it's never going to replace his real dog. And then we get like 15-20 minutes of him training up this dog as if he cares for it a whole bunch. So the movie just immediately undercuts itself.
Yeah.
It feels extremely filler, but it also has like a lot of the best moments because this is where we first get introduced to the weird vacuum ass where it's just
it starts showing the dog's different features, like it has like its eyes light up so it can see in the dark or something, and this pisses off the kid trying to sleep. But then, like, he's supposed to clean his room, and he's a kid. He doesn't want to do that. So he goes and is playing video games or whatever, and the mom's, like, hearing stuff coming from his room, and it goes in. The dog's dragging its ass along the carpet, and it's making vacuum noises, and she is terrified. Which is the appropriate response.
I was also terrified.
Yeah.
Yes. So she goes to the kid and is like, why aren't you cleaning your room? It's like, oh, the dog's doing it. And it's like, the dog can't clean your room. It's like, oh, it's got a vacuum in its ass. Like, just totally, like, casually about it.
I can't think of a single logical reason why you would install a vacuum ass in your robot dog.
Again, yeah, like we were talking earlier, it's like when you're making a robot dog, Dad, what features do you want in the dog? Obviously, vacuum ass, number one, top of the list. I've seen those Roombas. They're so useful. Put it on in there.
Why did he install a vacuum in his butt?
What?
Voix, you're saying you can't think of a single reason why you would do this.
I mean, I can, but it's
I
not...
can, but I don't want to discuss it with you. Like, I think you need to talk to your parents about why.
You got to sign a waiver. You're over the age of 18.
Yeah.
Not my job to explain why somebody wants this dog to have a vacuum ass. Although like, they do get into it later because, as we've already mentioned, there is in fact a lip-locking.
They could have just not, but they do.
I think they were maybe trying to go for the Roomba angle, but like no one on the cast or the writing staff like thought for more than half a second of the implications of having a vacuum on the dog's ass.
I mean, I don't know, but they did though. They did because they have the guy fucking rim it out.
They wrote a bit about his lips. They wrote a bit about Belch's lips on the dog's ass. They wrote that bit. They had to have known. There's the ass slap.
I was gonna that's the thing is I'm like I don't remember the full context of it, but later on in the film, for some reason, the son's beside the dad, and he's like, "Oh, like you should pull a prank on your dad or something," and he just slaps his dad's ass, and his dad like jumps near and is like, "Whoa!" Like Patrick Muldoon has this
that was the robot dog sniffing his ass.
Oh, yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think there are two different ass-slapping areas of this movie. There's the dog who jumps in the guy's ass earlier, and then there's the guy who gets slapped later on.
Yeah, there was the security officer later that got slapped in the ass.
Yes, that was it.
Oh, was it the security officer that they slap in the ass?
Yeah.
I can't blame you for not remembering the ass slap because I was also checked out.
We can't remember every ass thing that happens in this film.
Like,
all right,
there's
too
many.
many.
Saying they didn't think of this, but I'm like, there's so much ass stuff in this movie. I think they knew exactly what they were doing.
So,
actually,
we also haven't mentioned the dog's fifth arm.
It is my fifth arm.
Yeah, he goes outside to play
Gadget
frisbee.
arm.
And
Yeah.
the Inspector Gadget arm just like catches the frisbee instead of, or the ball or whatever the fuck it was, instead of like chasing it because, it's funny.
Sure.
And yeah, this is the dog trying to learn how to become a dog. So like it runs and catches the ball super fast in fast motion. And then later on, like the kid's trying to play like tug of war with the dog. And there's some really bad composite shot of the kid being spun in a circle.
Yeah.
Why? Who the fuck would want to run after a ball? What?
Oh yeah, this is also when he this guy's
Idiot.
driving down the street and he chases the guy's car and then like grabs the bumper and lifts up a Mazda Miata or something. The guy zooms through this parking lot at 60 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's a school zone, so like you got to speed up. Yeah,
like
Yeah, we get a lot of
traffic
these-
laws are kind of optional in Florida. So.
it is Florida. It's
Yeah.
true.
This is
Right.
like we said. This is very much like the checklist of bad dog family movie of like Science Man. Okay, everything happened in the first 10 minutes. Like there's this huge plot dump of all of this stuff about super battery, robot dog, dead dog, etc., etc., etc. And then, oh shit, we're 30 minutes in. We're almost finished this fucking arc. Okay, slow things down. Let's have a montage of the kid training the dog. Let's have the kid get this, as Kuma put it, C-plot at this point.
Yes.
Of the girlfriend.
The love interest for no reason.
The next door neighbor there's a young girl that's the kid's age, and apparently he has a crush on her. So like he's walking back from the dog park after the dog learned to sniff asses, and he's like talking. The girl shows up and he's trying to explain to the dog what a crush is, because like, oh, it's the girl I have a crush on. The dog's like, I don't know what that is. And so like the dog, not knowing any concept of love or anything, just immediately starts trying to set the kid up with the next door neighbor.
Being a wingman for no reason.
Yeah, and I believe, isn't this the situation where he says like, do you want to sniff her ass?
Yeah.
Because the dog just learned about that.
Her ass. Yeah.
Jesus. Afterwards, because she agrees to go on a date. Yeah, they're 8. But she agrees to go on a date with him, and the kid does a little dance, and then we are introduced to the Slender Man cryptid in the background.
Oh, yeah.
That's which I'm glad that they snuck in.
Yeah, there's a shot, like a far shot of just the kid
Yeah.
talking, and there's a guy walking in the background. He totally disappears in the next scene.
And he's like,
it's a really
super
weird
thin
silhouette.
and tall.
Yeah,
it's
it's a really
creepy.
tall, skinny man who has like he's got some kind of like pack around his waist, so he's got like these this huge waist silhouette. Like it's just a weird silhouette in the background, and it's only for a second because in the next scene it's just gone again because of course these are all different times.
No, it's not different times. The cryptid disappeared after killing one of the crew. You don't understand. They caught that on camera.
The horror aspect coming in.
Oh, this is so great. She just asked me on a date.
Oh my god.
That man disappeared. Hold on, go back 10 seconds.
So great.
Oh, there's
Man in the background. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait. Yeah. okay.
Disappeared.
So not only did he disappear, but he looks kind of lanky, right? Like that's a cryptid.
He's at least 6.5 feet tall.
Why is there a cryptid in the background? What? Oh man, there's a lot of horror in this film, to be fair. But yeah, so at that point, the Epic Industries is going to shut down because they don't have a storefront set up yet, and they have no competition with Steam.
It's more that Walshaw hired a bunch of idiots that don't know what science is, and they don't have any products to sell. But...
Yeah, he hired
and they also,
the local
I mean, to be
sociology
fair, he
professor.
also gave them a lab in such a way that like there's no way they could make anything in that thing anyways.
Yeah.
Like, wait, is this an overhead projector? What the fuck is this for?
So he sends Belch to go get the battery back because they're about to go bankrupt and they need something, right?
Yeah, like the conversation between him and Belch, and somehow comes up that the father guy was working on the super battery, and so like he fired him, and Belch gave the battery back as part of his desk clean out.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he needs Belch to go get the battery.
So then Belch goes and stalks the kid and creeps on him from their front yard.
Yeah, he's
parks in his car.
His father and the kid are like in the garage, and Belch just parks his car out front and stares at them with binoculars, and no one notices.
What?
Which also doesn't make a lot of sense considering that Belch at like various points has gone over to their house and like he's obviously friends with the dad.
Yeah.
Like he's talked to the dad and been like it seems like they're work buddies. Like
yeah.
When he comes over to give him his stuff because he's cleaned out his desk, he's like, well, here's your super battery, and like, oh yeah, you could use the solar panel as a heatsink. That's really cool. You're very smart.
I think it's one of those situations where the father really doesn't have any friends, but he kind of considers Belch his friend at work because he just doesn't know anyone else and doesn't hang out or associate with anyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's definitely one of those situations where like he doesn't need to look at their house through binoculars. He can just walk up and be like, hey, boss wants the battery back. Like,
right. But we need to make sure that we understand that Belch is a creepy pervert.
Yeah.
Oh, that's important.
So this kid goes with his dog on like the kid's bike doesn't work because he stole parts from it or whatever. So he takes the dog with him on his date downtown, which by the way cuts from this Floridian home to like a B-roll of like a New England town, which is makes zero sense to me. But yeah, he meets with the next door neighbor girl, and they go into a dog boutique for the next 30 minutes for no reason. And the dog stays outside, and the dog's like in silence mode. Like, the dog's turned off.
Dog.exe has stopped working.
Yeah. Yes. And so the dog stands there, and Belch is following the kid. Obviously, they get the dog battery back. And we see this comedic, and again, heavy air quotes here, scene for the next 10 minutes of him trying to get the dog into his car.
Yes.
Which consists of him, trying to lift the dog because the dog apparently is 5,000 pounds now. Tying the dog's neck to his bumper and trying to drive off with it, which, if that did work, would have ripped the dog's neck apart.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Eventually, we get to the dog sniffing asshole scene.
Yeah. Hey, Ilion, do you want to talk about the dog assholes?
So Belch leans over to try and grab the dog, and he accidentally turns on the vacuum, to which a mother and child walk by and go, oh my god, is he giving that dog a rim job? To which, yes, the movie is saying, yeah, absolutely, he sure is. They go far enough that he pulls his lips off, and they have, like, red all over his lips because he's been vacuumed to the ass so hard. Like, they show...
Yeah. He's got chapped lips from rimming this dog so hard.
Yes. Jesus Christ. This fucking film. Why?
And then he gets chased off by two police officers after trying to rip the dog's head off and having his bumper fall off. So he throws it all in the back of his car, drives off. The kids come out of the building and turn the dog back on. And then he's just there again. I'm like, he like GTA'd his car instantly. Like, they had like a shop around the corner and he just recolored it. And they were like, the cops were like, where'd he go? Oh,
I could also just see the Floridian police just not giving a fucking...
No, they don't give a shit.
I mean, for the one time that I'm going to kind of excuse cops, do you really want to chase down the guy that was rimming out the dog in public?
No.
I feel though that's an easy win for the cops. I mean, like, after harassing minorities all day, arresting the pervert who's fucking the dog's ass, like, that's a win. Like, no one could say, okay, I think the police overstepped their bounds there. No, that's like a check mark in the win column.
Right. But so he goes back to try and get the dog again, but now it's turned on, power-wise. And so I guess they fight back by turning the volume up and just like screech barking at him.
Yeah, he and the kid like argue for a bit, like, I'm an undercover dog catcher, and he tries to run off with the dog. Yeah, and the guy just like sonic walls this dude with the dog barking and takes his dog back. I should notice when he sonic barks at this guy, fucking his clothes fly off and he's in
ripped off.
Underwear.
Yeah, he has the Catherine underwear.
It's supposed to be comedic. It just makes him look like more of a perv. So.
Well, why did they draw a heart specifically on Belch's asshole?
I feel he got, like, rewatching this, he has white boxers on. Like, they couldn't find the heart ones, so they just like took like velvet or something.
Some of them?
Yeah, and just put it on.
Jesus.
But they put like the
front is all like everywhere.
Yeah, the front's heart patterned, but the back is completely white with a heart directly over his butthole.
Yes, exactly. Like there's 12 hearts on the front, but and they're just in a pattern, and then on the back it's just like, hey, this is the special zone. Let's put a heart right
the
there.
Special zone.
What the hell?
I feel this is the director
movie
trying to show his love for the butthole. In the
I'm
reading into this.
I don't think you're reading into it. I think that it's just there. This is explicit at this point.
Yeah.
Interestingly, though, the dog turns around to speak to the kid and his girlfriend when they walk out, and they bark really loud, but those kids' clothes don't fly off. So
weird, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
A rare moment of restraint from the director.
Apparently.
We skipped the scene where Wallace Shaw realizes that he had his employee sign a contract with a non-compete clause. And realized he could just take the battery back.
Oh, I own that, actually. Right.
Yeah.
Duh. I'll just call my lawyer. I'm an idiot.
It means I'll have to use other ways to get that battery.
I wonder how much of this is Wallace Shaw acting versus him just actually being annoyed at the script.
He worked for you when he made it.
Yeah.
What was that?
Well, he was working for you when he made it, so you funded the technology.
There,
no, this is technically correct.
I always thought so.
One quick phone call to my lawyer, and that battery's as good as mine.
Yeah, no, this is right.
What? No, nobody realized this beforehand.
Jerome!
Great, yeah, I don't need to steal it back from him. He made it at work with my money on company time.
Yeah.
He has no right to it.
Yeah, and knowing this, he calls up the father inventor being like, you should give the battery back. And the dad's like, no, I'm not going to give the battery back. And his wife is giving him the eyes. And then he's like, okay, that's fine. I'm going to get my lawyer on you.
Yeah,
and that's the scene.
You do that.
Which, like you said at the time, because he's like, well, you're going to have to get your lawyers. And you're like, okay, you'll lose. Like, you signed a contract, dummy.
I mean, this is a very clear-cut case here for the HR department.
Did they need to install an Amazon Echo in the robot dog to surveil the child at all times, though? Right?
Yes.
Like, that's the question I have.
Yeah,
He's
so
trying
after
to
the
sell it
scene,
to as many bidders as possible, Blix. Come on.
That's true. Yes, I mean, obviously you could hit both like Raytheon and General Dynamics, but you can also get like Boeing, Lockheed Martin, and then you get the big surveillance companies. You get like Amazon in there too. It's smart to shop out what you got, but yeah. After this, he's playing the worst Mario Kart ripoff on his garage door with the next door neighbor girl. Yeah. And this is where the dog realizes that it also has Premiere inside installed, pre-installed for it, and has this tribute video. I guess that's the best I could come up with of the kid doing very Star Wars lightsaber in your garage sort of things to try to impress the girl.
He's like, this is my boy. I love him and he loves me very much, and he wants to sniff that girl's ass.
I really think he likes Chloe and may one day sniff her butt.
Turn it off.
What?
I don't care. Shut it off.
That's the video.
And the girl doesn't seem too upset about it, but
what the fuck?
Not at all. The kid's very mad though. You can't just make videos about me.
Is Florida one of those one-party recording states? That's what I should look this up before. I need to do research into this dog-ass podcast, so...
God damn it. Right, well,
not for this movie.
The important thing is after this that Wallace Shawn shows up with the legal papers from his lawyer that says that he owns the battery, and oh, by the way, yes, I wasn't bluffing. You literally need to give me that back. Or we're gonna go to court.
Yeah, the dad's like, well, I'll see you in court, and I'm gonna lose and pay a lot of money, but he's trying
fuck you.
Yeah. But the dog feels bad, and so the dog's like, I will give up my heart for you in the age of capitalism. And he just pops open the heart container, and Wallace Shaw takes its heart, and the dog dies.
The dog fucking dies, yeah.
Deactivates, I guess, since it's not really living.
Is this what you want?
What?
Take it.
What?
Yeah. But yeah, he rips its heart out in front of this child and its family. Like, again, like, this kid's watching this, and Wallace Shawn just, like, rips the dog's heart out.
The shot's funny, too, because he looks miserable, but I'm wondering if that's him acting or just realizing that he's in this movie.
What he's in, yes, yeah.
It was very much like an Indiana Jones scene too, where they're like ripping the heart out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But the kid runs down the stairs, runs out the door, goes over to the car, and is like, "Please, sir, don't rip my dog's heart out and kill it." And he's like, "Yeah, I don't give a shit, whatever."
Just like you'll know more when you're older and have grown bitter from capitalism, kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't understand how much defense contract money this thing's worth, kid.
He doesn't though, because he makes it
No,
into
he
like
doesn't
a
get
power
either.
strip for the fucking city or something.
What an idiot.
Yeah, just for the city. Like we've managed to make infinite energy. We have an infinite energy device. Where are you gonna sell it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Our town of 1,000 probably needs power, I guess. Like what?
Yeah. So after Wallace Shawn gets the battery, they then make a bigger version of the battery with schematics based on it.
Yeah,
And
they
then
reverse
Belch
engineer
feels
it.
and Belch feels bad that they murdered their robot dog. So he steals the battery and brings it back while the dad's trying to rebuild the dog and come up with an energy solution that is different than the battery he already built and knows how to make.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, there's a montage of him and Belch doing science in the garage, and
Yeah.
there's a ham sandwich involved. I don't remember.
I don't know why.
It was dumb.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, because they have to reassemble the super battery because it's been disassembled.
Yeah, they rebuild the dog, put the head back on with a soldering iron that they're holding very well.
I remember the kid coming back into the garage and being upset that the guy who was rimming his dog earlier is there in his house.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He's like, wait a minute, that's the guy who was doing the weird pervert shit to my dog. What the hell,
That's
Dad?
a dog criminal. Dad.
Yeah,
you know
the dad's
he's a
like,
dog criminal?
look, you don't understand, but him and I are friends now, okay?
Spending 5 to 10 upstate for dog crimes.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
He should be. That's
Right,
the
so
thing.
but then the kid sees the dog alive. He's like, Robo Dog, you're alive again. Well, not technically.
Yeah, the dog actually is him, and it's like...
I'm not actually alive. You see, Isaac Asimov is going off to a fucking tirade about philosophy of robots and what makes a
dog's
living
positronic
being a
brain
living
is not
thing.
working.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
Yes. Get into them. Listen, we already solved this in Measure of a Man, yeah.
Right.
Robo-Dog! You're live!
Not technically, Tyler.
So, but then they find out from Belch that Wallace Shawn made that huge battery and he's going to show it off for the whole city, and they need to stop because they didn't figure out that you need to put a solar panel as a heat sink on it.
Sure, why not? Yeah.
It's
Whatever.
gonna overheat.
Whatever. So he
It's
calls,
going to turn it into a bomb or something.
Whatever. So Patrick Muldoon calls him at the event and gets the assistant who's been like very weird the whole movie.
I don't know where they were going with that assistant guy. Like I'm trying to think of who he reminds me of. Oh shit, he's a very nerd.
Yeah, there's a comedy actor I'm thinking of with like the curly hair. It's kind of like that, but
yeah, he's a very yes man.
Yeah,
He reminds me in looks of my extremely left, like high school English teacher who would show up in cardigan sweaters and like smelling of weed.
Maybe like
that's too cool for this character. This guy shows up in dress shirts with bow ties.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. But like just in physicality, he's that guy.
So
He's
he
got,
calls
like,
him to
really
warn him
big
about the
fuzzy
bomb exploding, the gender reveal bomb that he made for the city. And the assistant's like, I'm not gonna give the phone to him. He doesn't want to talk to you anyway. Well, if you don't give him the phone, I'm gonna tell him that you wear his clothes and
when you get his
take them
dry
back for the
cleaning.
dry
Yes, I
cleaning.
forgot about that. Again,
Why?
more weird dress up stuff. Why?
Why?
You were talking about the you were talking about the office assistant. I was thinking of the other scientist background.
I'm talking
guy.
about like the way worse
different
Seth
characters.
Rogen is what I'm talking.
Yeah. Few background characters that are a little weird.
Knock off
Imagine
Seth
if Seth
Rogen.
Rogen was a nerd and got bullied in high school. That's the assistant. The guy in the background looks like he sells mushrooms out of the back of the van behind like PJs or something.
Now you understand why I was talking about my super high
the
English
neckbeard
teacher.
dude.
Oh, the neckbeard
Yes.
guy totally smokes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like he's
that
fucking,
happens. Yeah.
Like honestly, in the background when they're doing the science lab thing, I'm like, oh, what kind of bong is he building back there?
They have to tell him to take off his fedora for the
He knows way too much about Ted Kaczynski.
Yeah, that dude spends all day on Reddit. 100%. Yeah, no, that's that guy. Yeah. But no, we're talking about the weird pervert one. The other one.
Yeah. Well, which pervert one?
The assistant pervert, the one who dresses up.
Yeah. So he gives him the phone. He's like, you can't turn that battery on. You'll blow up the city. But it's the same battery as what you made. Yeah, but I changed it. I altered the thing so it would work. Ah, you're trying to blackmail me, huh?
Which, like, okay, he altered it so that it would work. Which means that they took the actual thing. They took the altered battery.
Which they reverse engineered.
Notice?
I guess it's like the earlier shot, it only showed the battery part coming out of the dog. It didn't show the solar panel part, which presumably was someplace else in the dog. I'm willing to forgive them for this because it's just a plot contrivance for the third act. But
sure, it's just that it's just done so lazy. Is all my point.
Yeah,
is.
I mean, you could predict the course of this movie just by watching the first 15 minutes. So.
Oh yeah.
The Curse of the Dog movie.
So they go to break into the event. Belch, Patrick Muldoon, and the kid, and RoboDog all show up. But the security has 1970s Polaroids of Belch and Patrick Muldoon for some reason.
Yeah, they're like, person non gratis on the campus.
I think it's photos that like their agents sent to the company for the film to get them hired or something. I don't know why they have these. Right, but they're stopping every person that looks like a pervert on the way in, and being like, "Hey, you that weirdo that was sucking that dog butt?"
And the weirdo that was sucking that dog butt goes, "Here, I'll make a distraction." And they go, "Okay, sure." And what does he do? Instantly strips naked and runs in front of the garden, just like starts like ham boning. He's like slapping himself.
He ham bones in front of the guard, starts running away, and gets maybe a grand total of 30 feet before this guard tackles him. Yeah, like this is the stupidest distraction.
Did he need to take off his pants for that?
I just don't know.
They had a picture of him.
Why is he taking his clothes off?
He's a strange man, son.
Hey, look at me! Look at me! Look what I'm doing! It's outrageous! Hey, what's up?
I mean,
rewatching the scene, there's an extra in the background here that just has my expression of just what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, what the fuck is this? Yeah, I don't even.
Patrick Muldoon's like, oh, that didn't work, so I'll try it out now. So he goes and does the same thing and gets the guard's distraction, and there's a chase scene.
Yeah, and then the kid does it too, basically.
Yeah, eventually
he slaps the guy's ass.
Yeah, he slaps the guy's ass, gets the guy to like follow him, and there's a scene where like the security guard is like confronting the kids, like, you can't be here. And so the dog yells, like, get down. The kid ducks, and the dog basically impales a security guard.
He impales him through the heart. Yeah.
His feet go straight up off the ground.
Yeah, he spear tackles him hard enough that he goes entirely horizontal in the middle of the air.
So then, as he's crawling on the ground bleeding, a golf cart comes to pick him up, right? And then they go after RoboDog, who shuts off in the middle of the road with his mag clamps on.
Mm-hmm.
And we get
the golf cart hits it.
There's a super good crash scene.
It's not really super good. You're overstating this. The golf cart drives up to the dog. They pause the video in Premiere so it looks like it crashed into the dog. They do some after effects of shit going. He flies off horizontally because they put him on a green screen and rotated him 90 degrees. And then he hits the side of a garbage bin as he's reduced by about 40% in order to fit in the garbage bin as he crashes into it. It's very bad composite. Like, I cannot overstate.
They take up this man and just throw it in the garbage bin. That's what they do.
I feel that like when you post this onto Twitter or whatever, you need to include this clip so people fully understand what we are talking about, because it's something that can't be reproduced in podcast form. It is.
Oh man!
I could do something better than this. I don't even own Adobe After Effects, so.
Yeah, this is incredible.
Hey, I'm acting. Hey,
We're gonna get him.
we got him.
Oh, he broke his back there.
Oh,
Jesus!
that is a very big garbage can, as it turns out.
Not the fact that he just went spine first into a metal bar.
But like, look at the size of that trash can. Like, look at how much they shrunk him down to get him to fit in there.
Alright, when does Robo Dog spill like some toxic waste on the next guy? So then they go to the event after an interview, which is not important. But the mayor is there, and what is it? I guess Wallace Shawn is there, and his neckbeard scientist is there.
Yeah, they're gonna turn on the battery.
They're gonna turn on the battery. That's the important bit. Yeah. So then Patrick Muldoon shows up. He's like, "You can't turn on the battery; it'll kill everyone." And the mayor's like, "Is that true?" Well, not technically. Oh, we probably shouldn't turn this on. I guess.
Making him the greatest mayor of all time, because I think, as Kubo said, it's like, wow, a mayor that cares about his people. This is getting unrealistic.
Yeah, this guy would see dollar signs of saving money by not having to power any of the state buildings, with fossil fuels or whatever.
Yeah.
Also, this is the part where they have the audience participation time, because as the father is doing his everybody stand up and clap speech of, hey, you can't turn on the battery, the kid's like, listen to my dad, he's great. He's like, he invented the battery. And then there's a beat. And it's like, and people in the crowd are like, "Oh, he invented the battery!" Like they missed a cue.
Yes. Yeah, he goes, "He invented the battery," and then you just go. The scene goes, "He invented the battery." Oh wow, he invented the battery. Whoa!
And it shows like a reaction shot of everybody like looking at each other. Oh, he did. It's
Trump. Yeah.
Please listen to my dad. He created it.
Yeah.
Well, there's a good, solid, 1, 2, and then the reaction from the crowd. Like, it's just, it is so wooden.
Yeah.
And they do that a couple times because he's like, and then these people killed my dog and stole it.
Oh, they killed his dog?
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
This is the editor just totally botching the scene here. Not syncing the shit up properly.
Well, at this point in the film, when you've been editing so long, do you really give a shit? It's Robo Dog.
That's true. We're in the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You did just throw a JPEG of a man, sized down into a trash bin. At this point, you don't give a shit about the audience reaction.
No. So, we find out that they can't turn the gender reveal bomb off because Wallace Shawn removed the emergency kill switch
to save money.
To save money,
specifically. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is an anti-capitalist screed at this point, which is kind of great.
What?
I feel that's, however, that's like I always see the world through. So sorry about that, but.
I mean, it is doing that pretty explicitly. He's like, how much more money can you save? Like, what a stupid thing to do to just save money. And it's like, yeah, okay, they're kind of making...
Yeah. But
it's very little, but hey, at least it's doing a little something somewhere. It has a tiny bit of a message.
They can't emergency shut it off, but they can remove the fuses. So Patrick Muldoon opens up the fuse box of the gender reveal bomb and just jams his hand in on every fuse, one by one, grabbing them. Just nothing... No safety.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you're kind of underselling what this fuse box and stuff is. I can see Kubo over there just ready to explode. Go ahead.
I'm thinking about this from earlier. Earlier in the movie, when he needed to turn off the small dog-sized battery, Wallace Shawn and 2 of the lackeys tried grabbing it. They all got electrocuted, very badly.
Yeah.
The dad is now trying to grab the fuse box of this, car-sized battery. The thing's huge. He would just be vaporized. He would not be there anymore. And he's just willy-nilly pulling out these Mountain Dew cans of electricity just out of this fuse box and just chucking them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
while Wallace Shawn stands behind him, totally incredulous.
Yes. Yeah. He's doing it barehanded, and he's just fumbling every single one of them. As he's pulling them out, he's going he's doing this slapstick routine where he's like, whoa,
yeah, he's hot potatoing them.
And they're hot potatoing them, and it's just...
They're loosely taped in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, they're Velcroed in on one side. They're half falling out already. This prop sucks. It's so bad.
So bad. But one of them gets stuck. So then it's up to RoboDog to save the day, who uses
This may be the funniest scene in the entire fucking movie here.
It's so good. It's so good. He uses his fifth arm to Vulcan neck pinch Patrick Muldoon and pull him away from the fuse box. And then he tackles in JPEG format a JPEG of Wallace Shaw to the ground.
To give you an idea, Wallace Shaw's doing his Boris "I am invincible" from like GoldenEye thing with his hands above his head, and the dog comes off screen right, hitting him and just moving his body to the left.
Yeah, he's got
fantastic.
arms. He's just like
so
his
good.
arms are both
It's so
just
good.
up. What did he do? Sorry, what? Like, did he just shove the dad down slightly?
Yeah.
What was that?
And then the
so
gender
good.
reveal bomb goes off, and we find out it's a boy. So that was nice. Which only
bomb
blew
doesn't-
up. It only blew up the stand, right? Like nothing was damaged.
There's a building like 5-10 feet behind it is perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's
It
like a
blew up
tiny
straight
curl of
upwards.
smoke coming out of it, and it itself is blackened. And then there's nothing else. This is the most lackluster bomb of all time. It's pathetic.
Not even a single forest fire.
No.
God.
Yeah, so father and son are upset that dog has sacrificed itself for the greater good of Tallahassee, Florida. And we realize the dog is in fact not dead. It protected Wallace Shaw for some reason.
For some reason. But Wallace Shaw is dying, and heart has stopped.
Oh,
so
God,
RoboDog uses his installed defibrillator.
Still a more
to
useful
revive
function
him.
than the ass vacuum.
Okay, so I'm designing this dog. I'm installing an ass vacuum, night vision goggles, thermal vision, like a sonar thing, and a defibrillator. Why did I put a defibrillator? Also, what is this?
Clear.
You got all that free energy. Why not make it electrical, you know?
Boykes, you're mad that they installed a defibrillator in this thing. May I remind you that in a filler scene that we haven't talked about, it has its own leash installed in it.
It does. I'm upset at the Deus Ex Machina of this RoboDog's vacuum ass. You don't understand.
Whatever it needs.
Yeah, come on.
But so it just zaps Wallace Shawn, who immediately stands up and just starts having a normal conversation, like you do when you're dead. Like, I've been legally dead for the last 5 minutes. Anyways, I'm just gonna stand up and go out for a round of golf or something.
Yeah, right.
Wallace Shawn, not only does he wake up, he's had a change of conscience, and he realizes that trying to power this super battery is bad for the environment or something. I don't know. He says he's not going to sue the father.
So what he's going to do instead is make RoboDog toys for children.
Yeah, this is where the montage, like the wrap-up montage starts, where the director realized that he has about 5 minutes left in this movie and needs to fucking tie these plot points together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we see a montage of like newspaper clippings and shit.
Yeah. So like after his community service for almost blowing up the town with his gender reveal
he got charged with reckless endangerment with a W.
No. It was reckless inventorship. It was not endangership. He was recklessly inventing.
Yeah. So that's Wallace Shawn getting arrested for that. And like you said, they're just paper clipping
the
on this
Belch
thing.
made his solar spatula in a UHF commercial.
Yeah. Looks like Weird Al should just pop out.
It does. And then, Patrick Muldoon got the top robotics award.
He wins major awards, I believe, is what they say. They don't go into specifics about that.
They couldn't name a single one. That's the problem. They don't know.
And
a
now
single
they're
one of
all
them.
a family. And RoboDog is 1 year old. The end.
So, rewatching this movie and talking about it with you guys, this is not the movie I thought it was, because when I had memories of this movie from whatever I watched it last, I could have swore that 1, the dog got hit by a car, and 2, the dog turns into a flying car at the end. And now I'm realizing that I misconstrued this with the second movie. So spoilers on that part.
That could be it. That could be it.
Because there is in fact a sequel.
There is, yeah.
And I remember the last shot of the sequel, and it's very bad. So If you ever need follow up to this one, there is that sequel hanging over your head.
I hope they bring the vacuum back. I don't know. Like, there are so many just moral quandaries in this film. Like,
this entire film is a moral quagmire of AI. Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. No. In reality, basically every invention and thing that they talk about in this, you're like, well, that's a weapon system. Oh, that's a weapon system. Oh, that's a bomb. Like, it's just like it's like, yeah, this is all like 5 minutes after the end of this film. Like, they do that montage, and then 5 minutes after that, there's like agents busting in the doors of every person in this film and like whisking them away to CIA black sites so they can like.
Everyone in this film is going to therapy afterwards.
The mother of the kid definitely
constructing this. Yeah, like they definitely divorced. Right?
Yeah, the actual ending for this film is a much bleaker one. Like, what do you think about what the implications
are?
The
end of this film is he's grilling in his front driveway while Balshaw's like, we're all great, you work for me again. And yeah, like fucking Raytheon would fucking come up here with a check and like, we own you now.
Yeah,
buy this person wholesale.
And like,
well, like, I mean, if they didn't, like I said, the U.S. government would just like honestly just black site these people. Like, they'd just be never heard from again.
Just nationalize
this.
And at the very least, the dad should be in the hospital for multiple hand burns from both the soldering iron and the fuses.
I think the father and son should both be in jail because they murdered both of those security guards.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
One guy broke his back at least.
They're just fucking dead. They never came back, did they?
No.
Also, speaking of things that never came back, hey, we kind of dropped that whole thing about the girlfriend, huh?
Yeah,
the C plot. That's not important. They needed that to fill in about 10 minutes.
It just stopped. It's just
goes
done.
Away.
Sorry, there is one more scene. After Robo-Dog committed Sudoku, she walks by and the kid's looking at her through the window and she's like, "Oh, you don't have a Robo-Dog anymore."
Oh yeah.
And then walks off.
She was only dating him for his.
He was only in it for the robot dog. Yeah.
I mean, it's got a vacuum ass. That thing's banger.
God. Right, that's the last time she shows up in the film. Yeah, just to show pity on him for his dog dying and how she wants nothing to do with him anymore. Great.
Wait,
what a film.
Yeah, that's... Oh, she was in the credits scene because they had the montage. That's what it is.
I think they just had everybody at the end, yeah.
They just had everybody.
Just because.
Yeah, so that is Robo-Dog. Boys. How would you like... Are we going to do the final thing? Do we need to rate this dog?
Let's rate the dogs. So we got to rate Dog, the dog named Dog. Who's the real
That only shows up for about 20 minutes.
Yeah. Dog wanted to be in a better movie. And Dog's agent really dropped the ball.
The dog was competent, but he didn't feel like it needed to be there. Like, sometimes you can tell that there's some sort of like bond between the actor dog and the actor person, but this dog was just there doing shit for treats. So
yeah,
I would say
Dog phoned it in, but that is the proper thing to do in this film. I would give Dog a 10 out of 10. Just a very laid back, easy 10 out of 10.
So you're saying that the dog's agent dropped the ball? In the attic?
In the attic, and then he got roasted to death in the attic. Yeah.
I feel like this dog was fire, really. This dog was really hot. I just, I did like Dog. This dog is really, really cute, and as Kuma was saying, it felt like this dog was angry at its agent. It didn't get the role that it wanted. It was really hoping to be an Air Bud 10.
Called the callback,
disappointed. Yeah, it missed the callback. It's just disappointed to be in this film and just kind of zombies its way through it. It looks so disinterested
also a
all the
zombie
time.
Too, but
I've never seen a dog care so little about everybody else on the set. Like, it's just like constantly looking off just slightly past the camera, obviously for treats for whatever thing it's doing. Like, it was doing a bunch of tricks and things. Like, it's a well-trained dog, but at the same time, oh my god, it's just constantly looking slightly off camera. Like, I'm just waiting for the next
raspberries for dogs? Like, because I feel that it win the raspberry award for the scene where it has to drag its ass on the carpet.
Yeah, that was a bad scene, yeah.
Not a flattering one for that dog. Not going to be on that dog's reel.
No.
No, yeah.
So you would rate that dog should have done a different movie out of 10.
Something like that, yes.
I felt like if this dog could like skateboard, it could be in a cool skateboarding dog movie or something. Like I felt it was miscasted.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, apparently had the sequel bait, so got called up for that option.
So now we got to rate Robo Dog.
Yes.
Who is not alive. Not alive, and a different dog.
Robot Dog was 100% CG.
Yeah, Robo Dog did a really good job of being a still life JPEG. So I would rate.
There were like 3 or 4 scenes where they just took a shot of the dog, stilled it, and fucking tweened it.
Yeah, I would rate Robo Dog a Newgrounds Flash animation out of 10.
Yeah, its lip syncing looks like that.
Yeah,
I'm going to have to say that I'm rating this dog as sucks ass.
No, that's the next dog. That's
the next dog. That's Belt. Oh shit.
That's Belt. That's our
I might
third
be
dog.
mixing up my rankings.
Yeah, sorry, you got the wrong dog. Yeah,
write that down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah, and then Belch. Belch is a very good dog.
Belch is a good boy. He just wants to give you a casserole.
Yeah, Belch is definitely somebody that gets an axe to the back of the head in Fargo.
Belch, I could see being like a repeating guest on like King of Queens.
Yeah.
He seems like that sort of actor. They could just show up, be there for like, I don't know, 2 minutes, talking to Kevin James, and just leave, and then he comes back a season later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this is why it ties into the Dogman series, because the 2 Dogman movies star the fat sidekick guy from According to Jim.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think maybe Belch was in the Dog Who Saved series with Kevin James' brother. I don't know. I don't remember those movies very well.
I think I would have realized because he is a character actor. He's one of those guys that you just see in movies. I think we'll have to look him up after this.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Are you talking about the Belch?
Yeah.
Yeah, Belch was? Yeah, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
There's a few actors in this, like, surprisingly, because there's also the mom is, as you said, Olivia Diabo, and she's been in like Conan the Destroyer, The Rise of Skywalker. Like, she's in actual movies.
Rise of Skywalker is an actual movie, so yeah.
Yeah, she does a lot of voiceover for like DC stuff, like Justice League. Yeah, like she's an actual actress that does things.
She's somebody who does
high
things.
quality
Wallace
stuff.
Shawn is a good actor.
Yeah,
I don't know how they pulled him. Like they must have just dumped some money on his front desk and be like, "Please, we need somebody."
Maybe him and Dog had the same agent.
It was a tight-on role.
Yeah.
God.
I got a friend. I know he needs some work.
Wallace Shawn fucking brought it to this film. To be fair, like
he tried like way too hard. He was way above the quality of where this should be at.
He's a consummate professional, was what I got from Wallace Shawn from this, because there's a few scenes where you can kind of see, like you said, you're like, is he annoyed? Is he acting annoyed, or is he annoyed because he knows how bad this is and he's stuck here? Like,
I feel that like him and Tim Curry are in the same field. Of like, it doesn't matter what they're in; it could be complete garbage, but they'll bring their A game because they're professionals.
Yeah, that makes sense.
He pulls it off real well. Wallace Shawn is always a treat. But boy, in general, this movie is full of acting.
Well, that was RoboDog. Thank you so much, Kuvo, for being here.
Thank you for having me.
For bringing this wonderful film to our attention.
If you need someone for the sequel, I'm not doing anything most Sundays.
I was just going to say, I think that we've already signed you on for the sequel at some point. Is there something that you'd like to shout out? I know that you're on another podcast.
I have a podcast called Legend of the Galactic / Gundam Heroes. Go search for that on YouTube or something. I'm really good at plugging my own shit, so yeah, sorry.
That's fair.
It's a really good podcast.
I've listened to it a lot. It's really good. You do a lot of rewatches of like old anime. It started out as Legend of the Galactic Heroes.
The first season is me just talking about politics for about an hour and a half every season, so yeah.
Which was really cool.
Paul Blart at some point, all the good stuff,
But yeah,
if y'all want to hear about
lots of bad stuff.
if y'all want to hear about Sex and the City movies,
Jesus Christ,
Yeah, as
You
special
don't,
events,
but-
you do the Sex and the Cities movies and Grown Ups, I believe, at one point, and Paul Blart.
You're making it sound like we just watch bad movies. We mostly watch anime, just to be
Oh,
clear.
and
about
also-
this.
No, I'm just
and
saying,
also
like,
Cowboy
you've
Bebop.
done a lot of
Yeah.
special episodes, is what I'm saying. You do a lot of special episodes at the end of every anime season, also that are just about like some various.
Yeah, I do it with some
horrible
other
trash.
fun people. So please watch that. Thanks.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's like Ty Tuesday and Vicus and Serene Dragon. Lots of lots of awesome people on that one.
Also, thank you. We got some new patrons recently, so appreciate that.
Got a lot of new patrons from Boyks doing a big dog marathon on Twitch. So thank you all for stopping in for that and helping Boyks out with that, because that was very awesome.
They let you watch dog movies on Twitch?
I play dog video games.
You played dog. Yeah, you played dog football.
I know a guy who got banned from Twitch for watching movies. So.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
You can do watch parties. We could maybe do that sometime, but
Amazon Prime does let you do that. Yeah.
Yes. Thanks everyone for being here. You can always check out our Twitter also, which you will want to do this time because we're going to put up some of those more visual moments that we were talking about. Some of the tweening and the JPEGs are very worthy of some GIFs, so we're going to put some stuff up on Twitter. It's Rough Cuts Cast. We also have that as our Gmail, so roughcutscast@gmail.com if you want to send something in to us. And besides that, we will see you next week.
Yeah, I've been working on this robot dog too, so the last step I got to do is just upload to the internet to connect it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm sure there will be no problem. Like, dogs love the internet, right?
I
Yeah.
don't see any problem. Yeah.
Yeah, let's start in Audacity, and then you can take the intro. That's cool.
Oh,
okay. Yeah, you're the one who came up with this. You're talking about.
By the way, you're the one that's going to have to talk about this anal fixation.
You're the anal expert here, not me. Jesus Christ.
Oh, jeez.
All right. I can get all up in that anal fixation. It's fine.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Recording in Audacity.
Recording
in Audacity.